Hey babe, could you put this away for me? Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. I'll just put that right. There's like no room on this bookshelf.
Yeah, I was thinking we should go to IKEA and get a new one.
That's not happening. Shh. Hey, babe, I'm going to IKEA. I'll be back in a bit.
Okay, pick out a nice bookshelf.
I found this drawer on the garbage. It looks like it's supposed to be under a bed. I still took it. I didn't tell anyone. I started by removing the legs. In this case, they were wheels. I made sure it was painless. Everybody agreed. It just had to be done. I buried the legs deep in my toolbox. This overhang is way too big to mount this to the wall. So I added another piece of scrap wood, and that way when the bookshelf is up against the wall, it'll be nice and flush. There's nothing like using a jigsaw to get the truth. These screws will be the perfect size. I took my marks to make sure I know where the wood will be on the opposite side of the drawer. I tacked the wood in place with 2 nails, keeping in mind these 2 nail holes will be replaced with screws. This keeps the piece of wood that we're using as the mounting plate from shifting. Now that the mounting plate is in place, we can drill our holes. We will be countersinking all of our holes that we drill on this project. Sometimes I like to install the screws by hand, just to make them squirm. Removing the nail, we start on the next hole and repeat the process until we get the truth. Here you can see we've used a total of 5 screws to attach the mounting plate to the drawer, soon to be a bookshelf. Because books are heavy, we have to drill 4 more holes through the drawer, through the mounting plate, and this is where our drywall anchors will go. If you're still wondering why we're countersinking every hole, it's because we're going for beauty, form, and function. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting pretty bored of this voice. Time to switch it up.
What is up, guys? As you can see here, we are now putting the shelves in place. I had to go with this little T design because of the specific wood I had available. Basically here we're just cutting out a section of the wood to make sure that it's nice and fitted. This middle piece particularly, I wanted it to have a overhang. And the next piece that goes in here, I wanted it to be specifically fitted, and this gave it a little bit of depth and a little bit of design as well. You can see there that it fits in actually quite nicely, and here we're just taking a mark to do our next cut. This part of the wood will also be set up as an overhang. This cut looks a little jagged because my blade was a little bit bent here, but we were able to work with it. As you can see now, it's got an overhang on both ends as well. And it looks pretty good too, gives it a little bit of depth. Now we're starting to just screw in our support screws to make sure everything is installed straight. We are not doing any countersinking or anything like that. This is a good time to kind of wrinkle out your mistakes and see if everything works together good. Here we're at the top, and we're just screwing in the top screws now, and it's the same thing. We're just getting everything in place so that we can go back around the second time and do all of our counter screwing and make everything look nice and flush and even. Most of these here for screwing I just did by eye. You can do the exact measurements to know exactly where you're screwing these holes. In this particular instance, I didn't think there was a need for it. I made sure to take a measurement so that the shelf is directly in the center of the bookshelf. I didn't bother filming any more countersinking, but all these screws were countersinking and in place. As you can see, the bookshelf is ready to go up now. I've taped the level down at the top just so that I don't have to hold it all the time. I started by drilling a couple pilot holes and then adding my anchors. And these drywall anchors, I did 4 at the top, and I also did 1 at the bottom, which unfortunately did not get filmed. You can see how easy it is to add these drywall anchors. I ended up having to put the shelving in at the end, and the reason why I did that is because one of the shelves blocks off one of the main drywall anchors, so we had to install this after it was up and in place. And that's pretty much it. Let's see what it looks like all completed. Hey babe, this IKEA bookshelf, I'm telling you, it has so much extra room for all of our books, and talk about affordable. Do you like it?
Well, okay. I did not see that on their online catalog. Must be a new one. How much was it?
It was,
Free 99.
that is,
Free 99.